Let's chase truth through the shadows. These were scars left in ink. I've seen stories get smoother over the years. These stayed jagged, like they'd just been lived. Even Jesus' brother James, who didn't believe at first, joins the record later. And when your own brother calls you God, something happened. Want to understand how it all connects? Flip to Hebrews. It reads like a divine decoder ring. The old law, the priesthood, the rituals. Hebrews ties the shadow to the substance. There's more. More clues, more connections. But these 3 scenes were enough to crack the pattern. And just as the Gospels close, a new witness enters the room. A man who hunted believers, then became one, who wrote most of the New Testament from a prison cell. But that's another testimony. We'll cross-examine Paul next. The New Testament wasn't scribbled in secret. It was written in public, within living memory of the events. Closer to the resurrection than we are to 9/11. He appeared to more than 500 of the brothers and sisters at the same time. 1 Corinthians 15:6. Written around 55 AD. You don't publish that unless it's true. 500 people could call you a liar. If this was propaganda, it failed the PR test. They weren't protecting reputations. They were reporting the truth, even when it hurt. The Saul to Paul shift. Before Paul wrote a third of the New Testament, he was Saul, a religious bounty hunter, a theological hitman. A flash of light, a voice from heaven. 3 days blind, 3 days in darkness, like a tomb. When the scales fell, so did the war inside him. He didn't become a philosopher. He became a witness. Paul wrote with the wisdom God gave him. Ignorant people distort his letters, as they do the other scriptures. Even Peter, who walked with Jesus, called Paul's words scripture. Romans, Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, Thessalonians, Timothy, Titus, Philemon. These weren't abstract theology. They were letters, written to real churches, facing real issues, signed with real names, written from chains, not ivory towers. Paul didn't write for fame. He wrote to warn, to awaken. He bled truth onto parchment, beaten, stoned, imprisoned, and still, he wrote. You don't die for fiction. Truth leaves a trail. Help us follow it. Subscribe, like, and share. The case is open, and we're not done yet.